Welcome back, focused learners. We've got a fantastic deep dive lined up for you today. We are literally lifting the hood on something absolutely fascinating. Today's explainer is entirely dedicated to unpacking the 2024 YouTube Animation Guide. I mean, whether you're an aspiring creator, a hardcore animation nerd, or just kind of curious about how those mind-blowing animated shorts actually end up on your screen, well, we're going to break down exactly how it all works. We're taking this incredibly comprehensive PDF guide and transforming it into a clear, step-by-step journey for you. Let's get into it. All right, so to really grasp the scale here, look at this massive number, 2 billion. Yeah, with a B. The source material highlights that YouTube has over 2 billion logged-in users every single month, and it's hosting upwards of 800 million videos. Just wrap your head around that. For animators, this isn't just some website. It's literally the world's largest digital stage. It offers unprecedented global reach across more than 100 countries in 80 languages. And the best part? It doesn't charge you a single penny to publish. And this brilliant PDF is what we're unpacking today. This manual serves as a complete visual and technical roadmap for navigating that massive digital stage. It's essentially a masterclass in document form. We're talking everything from the types of animation you can actually create to the specific tools you'll need, right down to how YouTube's algorithm processes and recommends your final file. Our goal with this explainer is to pull the absolute most vital, actionable insights directly from these pages so you can hit the ground running. So, here's our roadmap for the explainer. We'll kick things off with the animation democratization, move into choosing your visual style, walk through the 4-step production pipeline, cover essential software, talk about conquering the algorithm, and wrap up with monetizing your art. Section 1, the animation democratization. The guide makes a really powerful point right out of the gate. YouTube has completely obliterated the traditional studio gatekeepers. You no longer need some big Hollywood executive to greenlight your idea to reach a global audience. And this timeline brilliantly illustrates that massive shift. Look back at those early viral hits in 2005 and 2006, stuff like Charlie the Unicorn or Animator versus Animation. Those proved that short, independent animated videos could amass millions of views entirely on their own, zero studio backing required. That early spark? It led directly to the massive channels of the 2010s. Think Kurzgesagt or Alan Becker, creators who built audiences in the tens of millions. Today, the guide notes that animated YouTube channels are routinely outperforming traditional TV shows in pure viewership. How wild is that? Moving right along, Section 2, choosing your visual style. Okay, before you even think about animating, you have to define your visual story. Why? Because every single style has its own completely unique production process and technical demands. The guide breaks down a few distinct styles here. You've got fluid 2D frame by frame, which is perfect for really expressive storytelling. Think Has-Been Hotel. Then you have motion graphics. These use animated text and shapes, making them an absolute powerhouse for educational content. We also have 3D animation for that huge Pixar-style visual impact, and stop motion, using actual physical objects. The trick is, your chosen style absolutely must match your content goals and your own capacity. Like the guide points out, 3D gives you huge visual impact, sure, but it demands serious hardware and time. Motion graphics, on the other hand, are incredibly efficient for breaking down complex ideas quickly. Which brings us to Section 3, the 4-step production pipeline. So how do you actually make the thing? Well, the workflow is highly structured. Pre-production, production, post-production, and publishing. But pay close attention to step 1 here. High-quality voice recording has to happen in pre-production. I know, right? It's a huge misconception. People think you animate first, but no, you have to record your audio before the actual animation in step 2 even begins. Why? Because the animators literally need to time the character's mouth movements, the lip sync, directly to that pre-recorded audio track. It's a very precise, very structured flow. All right, let's talk gear. Section 4, essential software and tools. To execute that pipeline, you obviously need the right software. And the guide sets up this really fascinating contrast between two paths, free open source software versus paid industry subscriptions. I mean, you could spend $235 a month on Autodesk Maya for industry standard 3D, or maybe $22 a month for Adobe Animate, but guess what? You don't have to. You can literally build an animation empire using completely free software. The PDF highlights Blender for a full 3D pipeline, Krita for 2D frame animation, and DaVinci Resolve for editing. All 100% free. The barrier to entry here is practically zero if you just have the patience to sit down and learn. Okay, Section 5, conquering the recommendation algorithm. So let's say you've learned the software, you've put in the hours, and you've exported your final MP4 file with the recommended H.264 codec. how does YouTube actually recommend it to those 2 billion users we talked about? The PDF highlights a bunch of metrics like click-through rate, but I really want to focus on this core definition right here, average view duration, or AVD. Simply put, this measures how long viewers actually stick around and watch. And there is a super surprising fact pulled directly from the guide about this. Because animations take forever to make, creators often stress about making their videos really long. But the guide states that a 10-minute animation with 70% retention will absolutely crush a 30-minute video with only 30% retention in the algorithm. Listen, quality and retention trump sheer length every single time. To get that high retention, the PDF outlines some really specific growth tips. Number 1, invest heavily in bold, expressive thumbnail art to snag that initial click. Number 2, always script first and animate second. This completely eliminates wasted animation effort. Third, use chapters or timestamps in your description to make navigation a breeze. Fourth, you absolutely must hook the viewer in the first 30 seconds to prevent them from clicking away. And finally, enable and actually correct those auto-generated subtitles. It instantly boosts your accessibility and your international reach. Basically, feed the algorithm exactly what it wants, and it's going to find your audience for you. Finally, Section 6, monetizing your animated content. So, how exactly does all this creative effort turn into tangible economic success? Well, the guide outlines multiple highly diverse revenue streams. You've got the YouTube Partner Program for ad revenue, channel memberships, super thanks, merchandise, and of course, brand sponsorships. Now, to unlock that core partner program, a channel first has to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. But once you cross that threshold, game on. You can start stacking these incomes simultaneously, which builds a highly resilient creative business. Let's translate that into actual dollars and cents. $2 to $8. According to the guide's earnings insight, this number represents the typical CPM, which is your earnings per 1,000 views, for top animated channels through ads alone. Let's do a little math on that. A channel pulling in 5 million views a month could potentially be earning up to $40,000 a month just from the ads playing around their video. And guys, that is before even touching merchandise or those super lucrative brand sponsorships, which the guide notes often completely exceed ad revenue. The economic potential here is just staggering. Wow, we have covered a massive amount of ground today, distilling this incredible PDF guide from the early days of democratization right up to unlocking life-changing revenue streams. The source text actually concludes with this perfect little thought: master the pipeline, choose the right tools, and let your stories move. You know, the tools are free and the audience is literally 2 billion strong. So the only real question left for you is, what world will you animate first?